ഇൻട്രോ പറഞ്ഞതിന് ശേഷം സാറിനെ കൊണ്ട്
നമസ്തേ. സ്ഥൂല സൂക്ഷ്മഭാവങ്ങളിൽ സ്ഥിതി ചെയ്യുന്ന പ്രപഞ്ച തത്വങ്ങളെ മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നതിനുള്ള ഉപാധികൾ പ്രതിപാദിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ശാസ്ത്രമാണ് ആയുർവേദം. ഈ വൈദ്യശാസ്ത്രത്തിന്റെ വെളിച്ചം ലോകത്തിന് പ്രദാനം ചെയ്ത സർവ്വഗുരു പരമ്പരകളെയും ആദരപൂർവ്വം സ്മരിക്കുന്നു. കേരളീയ ആയുർവേദ ചികിത്സാ പാരമ്പര്യത്തിന്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനമായ മൂലഗ്രന്ഥങ്ങളിൽ ഒന്നാണ് അഷ്ടാംഗഹൃദയം. ആയുർവേദ പഠനം ലളിതവും സുഗമവും വിദ്യാർത്ഥികൾക്ക് പ്രാരംഭഘട്ടം മുതൽ സ്വാധ്യായ പരിശീലനം നൽകുക എന്ന ലക്ഷ്യത്തോടെ PNNM ആയുർവേദ മെഡിക്കൽ കോളേജിലെ സംഹിതാ സിദ്ധാന്ത സംസ്കൃത വിഭാഗം പ്രതിവർഷം അനുശീലനം അഷ്ടാംഗഹൃദയ സ്വാധ്യായം നടത്തിവരുന്നു. ഈ വർഷത്തെ അനുശീലനത്തിലേക്ക് ഏവരെയും സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു.
അജ്ഞാനമാകുന്ന അന്ധകാരത്തിനെ ജ്ഞാനമാകുന്ന തേജസ്സാൽ ലോക നന്മയ്ക്കായി പ്രതിധ്വനിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ആ വൈദ്യനാഥനെ സ്മരിക്കുവാനായി നന്ദനാദേവിയെ ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നു.
ശ്മശ്രുകലാപമംബുദനിഭ ഛായാദ്യുതിം വൈദ്യദാൻ അന്തേവാസിന ഇന്ദുജേ ജഡമുഖാൻ അധ്യാപയന്തം സദാ ആകുൽഭാമലകഞ്ചുകാഞ്ചി
അനുഗ്രഹീതമായ ഈ വേളയെ അഭിസംബോധന ചെയ്ത് സംസാരിക്കുന്നതിനും അനുശീലനം എന്ന ചടങ്ങിന് മുഖവുര നൽകുന്നതിനുമായി സംഹിതാ സിദ്ധാന്ത സംസ്കൃത വിഭാഗം അസിസ്റ്റന്റ് പ്രൊഫസർ ഡോക്ടർ വിശാഖ് സാറിനെ സഹർഷം ക്ഷണിച്ചുകൊള്ളുന്നു.
എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. ആദ്യമായി ഇത്തരത്തിലൊരു അനുശീലനം എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാമിന് നമുക്ക് നേതൃത്വം നൽകിയ കോളേജ് ഡയറക്ടർ സന്ധ്യ മേഡവും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ ജിജി സാറിനെയും നന്ദിയോടെ സ്മരിക്കുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ കഴിഞ്ഞൊരു 9 വർഷത്തോളമായി നമ്മുടെ കോളേജിൽ നിരന്തരം ചർച്ച ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു പേരാണ് അനുശീലനം. 2016 നമ്മുടെ PNNMന്റെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട കർത്താ സാറാണ് ഈ ഒരു പരിപാടിക്ക് അനുശീലനം എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു പേര് നിർദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ 2016 തൊട്ട് തുടർന്നു പോകുന്ന ഒരു പരിപാടിയാണ്. ഇന്ന് നമ്മൾ 2025 എത്തി നിൽക്കുകയാണ്. അപ്പൊ എന്താണ് അനുശീലനം അല്ലെ? നമ്മൾ ആ പേര് കണ്ടു, അനുശീലനം എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു പേര് കണ്ടു. അപ്പൊ അതിന്റെ അർത്ഥം പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് തന്നെയായിരിക്കാം ആദ്യത്തെ നമ്മുടെ ആമുഖം. അനുശീലനം ഇപ്പൊ ശേഷം, അനുശീലനം ശേഷം തുടർന്നു പോരുന്നത് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ശേഷം ശീലിച്ചു പോകുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ എന്തിനു ശേഷം? അപ്പൊ ഒരു വിദ്യ അഭ്യസിച്ചതിന് ശേഷം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു വിദ്യ നേടിയതിന് ശേഷം തുടർന്നു പോരുന്ന ഒരു അഭ്യാസം. അതാണ് അനുശീലനം എന്ന് പറയുന്ന പദത്തിന്റെ അർത്ഥം. അതിനുശേഷം മറ്റൊരു കൂടെ കാണാം, സ്വാധ്യായം അല്ലെ? അപ്പൊ ആവർത്തിച്ച് ശീലമാക്കുന്നത് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആവർത്തിച്ച് പഠിക്കുന്നത് മുതലായ അർത്ഥങ്ങളൊക്കെയാണ് നമ്മൾ സ്വാധ്യായം എന്ന് പറയുന്ന പദത്തിന്റെ അർത്ഥമായിട്ട് മനസ്സിലാക്കുക. അപ്പോൾ എന്തായാലും 2016 തൊട്ട് തുടർന്നു പോരുന്ന ഒരു പരിപാടിയാണ് നമ്മുടെ അനുശീലനം. അപ്പോൾ ഏകദേശം മനസ്സിലായെന്ന് തോന്നും അനുശീലനം സ്വാധ്യായം എന്താണ്. എന്നാലും ഒരു കഥ കൂടെ പറയാം. ഒരു സെൻ ബുദ്ധ കഥയാണ്. അപ്പൊ അത് എങ്ങനെയാ വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു മരം വെട്ടുകാരന്റെ കഥയാണ്. ഒരു മരം വെട്ടുകാരൻ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അപ്പൊ അദ്ദേഹം ദിവസവും മരം വെട്ട് വരും കാട്ടിൽ പോയിട്ട്. അപ്പൊ ഒരു ദിവസം 30ഓളം മരം വെട്ടുന്ന ഒരു മരം വെട്ടുകാരനായി. അപ്പൊ അതിന് കാലക്രമേണ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ ആ ഒരു കഴിവ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മരം വെട്ടുന്നതിന്റെ എണ്ണം കാലക്രമേണ ഇങ്ങനെ കുറഞ്ഞു തുടങ്ങി. ഈ 30 മരം വെട്ടിയിരുന്ന ഒരു സ്ഥലത്ത് നിന്ന് 25, 15, 5 ഒക്കെ ആയിട്ട് കുറഞ്ഞു തുടങ്ങി. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ദിവസം ഒരു മരം പോലും വെട്ടാൻ പറ്റാത്ത രീതിയിലേക്ക് അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ കഴിവ് മാറുകയാണ്. അപ്പൊ ഇയാളിനെ ആലോചിക്കുന്നത് എന്താണ് എനിക്ക് പറ്റിയത് എന്നുള്ള ഒരു സംശയം അയാൾ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അപ്പൊ അപ്പോഴാണ് നമ്മൾ എല്ലാ കഥയിലും കാണുന്ന പോലെ ഒരു ബുദ്ധ സന്യാസി ആ കാട്ടിലൂടെ ഇങ്ങനെ നടന്നു പോകുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ അദ്ദേഹം ചോദിക്കുകയാണ്, എന്താണ് നിങ്ങൾ ഇങ്ങനെ വയ്യാതിരിക്കുക അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വയ്യാതിരിക്കുന്നത് എന്താ ചോദിച്ചു. അപ്പോ മരം വെട്ടുകാരൻ പറഞ്ഞു, ഇങ്ങനെയാണ് എന്റെ കഥ, ഞാൻ 30 മരം വരെ വെട്ടിയിരുന്നു, പക്ഷെ എനിക്കിപ്പോ ഒന്നും സാധിക്കുന്നില്ല. അങ്ങനെ അദ്ദേഹം അയാളുടെ വിഷമം പറഞ്ഞു. അപ്പൊ ഈ ബുദ്ധ സന്യാസി ചോദിച്ചു, നിങ്ങൾ ഈ വെട്ടുന്ന മരം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മരം വെട്ടുന്ന കോടാലി ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, അത് എത്ര നാളെ മൂർച്ച കൂട്ടിയിട്ട് ചോദിച്ചു. അപ്പൊ അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞു, കുറെ നാളായി, ഞാൻ പണി തുടങ്ങിയ കാലത്താണ് ഇത് മൂർച്ച കൂട്ടിയെന്ന് അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞു. അപ്പൊ അതിൽ നിന്നാണ് അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് ആ ബോധവതയുണ്ടായത്. അപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ പല കാര്യങ്ങളും പഠിക്കുന്നുണ്ടാവും, പക്ഷെ അത് മൂർച്ച കൂട്ടിയിട്ടില്ലെങ്കിൽ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ദിവസവും ശീലിച്ചു പോകുന്നില്ലെങ്കിൽ അത് പ്രായോഗിക തലത്തില് പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് അതിനെ കൊണ്ടൊരു ഉപകാരം ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. അപ്പൊ അത് തന്നെയാണ് ഇന്നിപ്പോ ആധുനിക കാലഘട്ടത്തിൽ ധാരാളം അറിവുകളുണ്ട് അല്ലെ? നമ്മൾ പുതിയ അറിവുകൾ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ശാഖകളൊക്കെ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവും, സിസ്റ്റം ബയോളജി, അങ്ങനെ പല അറിവുകൾ നിങ്ങൾ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. പക്ഷെ ഇതിനൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ പുറകെ പോകുന്നുണ്ട്. എന്നാൽ കൂടെ ഒരു അറിവിനെ നമ്മൾ ആഴത്തിൽ മനസ്സിലാക്കുമ്പോഴേ അത് പൂർണ്ണാർത്ഥത്തില് പ്രായോഗികമായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. ഒരു അറിവിനെ പ്രായോഗികമായിട്ട് ഉപയോഗിക്കണമെങ്കിൽ അതിനെ ആഴത്തിൽ മനസ്സിലാക്കണം. അപ്പൊ ആഴത്തിൽ മനസ്സിലാക്കണമെങ്കിൽ ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള അനുശീലനവും സ്വാധ്യായവും ഒക്കെ നമുക്ക് വേണ്ടി വരും. എന്നാലേ നമുക്ക് പ്രായോഗികമായിട്ട് ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ പറ്റും. അപ്പൊ ഈ ഇന്നത്തെ അനുശീലനം എന്ന് പറയുന്ന പ്രോഗ്രാമിന്റെ ഉദ്ദേശവും അത്തരത്തിൽ തന്നെയാണ്. നമ്മൾ നിരന്തരം അഭ്യസിച്ച് ആവർത്തിച്ച് പഠിക്കുന്നത് തന്നെയാണ് നമുക്ക് പ്രായോഗിക തലത്തിൽ ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ വേണ്ട ഏറ്റവും വലിയ കാര്യം. എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു പ്രസാദ് സാർ അതിനെ പറ്റി കൂടുതൽ സ്വാധ്യായത്തെ പറ്റിയും അനുശീലനത്തെ പറ്റിയൊക്കെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വ്യക്തമായിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞു തരുന്നുണ്ടാവും. എന്തായാലും എല്ലാവിധ ആശംസകളും.
അനുഭവ സമ്പത്ത് കൊണ്ടും പ്രവൃത്തി പരിചയം കൊണ്ടും വിദ്യാർത്ഥി മനസ്സുകളിൽ അറിവിന്റെ പ്രജ്വല നാളങ്ങൾ തെളിയിക്കുന്ന സംഹിത സിദ്ധാന്ത വിഭാഗം അസോസിയേറ്റ് പ്രൊഫസർ ഡോക്ടർ നിതിൻ സാറിനെ സ്വാഗത പ്രസംഗത്തിനായി ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നു.
എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. കോളേജ് ഡയറക്ടർ സന്ധ്യ മാഡം, പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ ഡോക്ടർ ജിജി സാർ, വൈസ് പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ ഡോക്ടർ അർജുൻ, മറ്റ് അനധ്യാപക സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, പ്രിയ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളെ, കോളേജ് യൂണിയൻ ഭാരവാഹികളെ, ഇന്ന് എന്നെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം ഒരു വ്യക്തിപരമായ രീതിയിലൊരു വളരെയധികം സന്തോഷം തരുന്നൊരു നിമിഷമാണ്. കാരണം എന്നെ ആയുഷ്കാമ്യം പഠിപ്പിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള അധ്യാപകൻ ഇന്ന് എൻ്റെ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളെ ആയുഷ്കാമ്യം പറഞ്ഞു തരികയാണ്. അതെന്നെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം ഒരേ സമയം സന്തോഷവും ബഹുമാനവും തോന്നുന്ന ഒരു മുഹൂർത്തമാണ്. അധികം ദീർഘിക്കുന്നില്ല, ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ കർത്തവ്യത്തിലോട്ട് കടക്കട്ടെ. ആദ്യമായി ഇന്നത്തെ അനുശീലനത്തിലോട്ട് നമ്മുടെ കോളേജ് ഡയറക്ടർ സന്ധ്യ മാഡത്തിനെ ഹാർദവമായി സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. അടുത്തതായി കോളേജിൻ്റെ പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ ഡോക്ടർ ജിജി മാത്യു സാറിനെ അനുശീലനത്തിലേക്ക് സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഇന്നത്തെ വിശിഷ്ടാതിഥി ഡോക്ടർ എം പ്രസാദ് സാറിനെ എത്രയും ബഹുമാനത്തോടുകൂടി ഇന്നത്തെ അനുശീലനത്തിലോട്ട് സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. മറ്റ് അധ്യാപക അനധ്യാപക സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെയും എൻ്റെ പ്രിയ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളെയും കോളേജ് യൂണിയൻ ഭാരവാഹികളെയും ഇന്നത്തെ അനുശീലനത്തിലേക്ക് സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഒരു വാക്കുകൂടെ പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് നിർത്താം. ഇതൊരു നല്ല ശീലത്തിനുള്ള ഒരു തുടക്കമാവട്ടെ എന്ന് ആശംസിക്കുന്നു. പ്രസാദ് സാർ എന്നും പറയുന്നത് പോലെ തന്നെ ആയുർവേദത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു ഇൻഫോർമൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ്റെ പ്രസക്തി, അതാണ് ഇന്ന് നമ്മൾ തുടക്കം കുറിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത്. നമ്മളെ ഒരു സിലബസ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക എന്നുള്ളത് മാത്രമല്ല BAMS ആവശ്യം. ഒരു ഇൻഫോർമൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ്റെ ഒരു പ്രസക്തി വർദ്ധിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു കാലഘട്ടമാണ്. അതിനെല്ലാവർക്കും എല്ലാവിധ ഭാവങ്ങളും ഉണ്ടാകട്ടെ എന്ന് ആശംസിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് നിർത്തുന്നു. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
നന്ദി സർ. ഏതൊരു സ്ഥാപനത്തിൻ്റെയും വിജയഗാഥയ്ക്ക് സുദൃഢമായ ഒരു നേതൃത്വം അനിവാര്യമാണ്. PNNM ആയുർവേദ മെഡിക്കൽ കോളേജിലെ അദ്വിതീയ സാന്നിധ്യം ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ ഡോക്ടർ ജിജി മാത്യു സാറിനെ ആശംസാ പ്രസംഗത്തിനായി ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നു.
ഡോക്ടർ എം പ്രസാദ്, നമ്മുടെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഡയറക്ടർ എന്ന സ്ഥലത്തില്ല, നമ്മുടെ തൊട്ടപ്പുറത്തൊരു പ്രോഗ്രാം നടക്കുന്നുണ്ട്, അവിടെയാണ്. ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഡയറക്ടർ, മറ്റ് അധ്യാപകരെ, പ്രിയ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളെ, നമുക്കിന്ന് വളരെ സന്തോഷമുള്ളൊരു ദിവസമാണ്. നമുക്കറിയാം 2016 നേരത്തെ സൂചിപ്പിച്ചതുപോലെ 2016 മുതൽ എല്ലാ വർഷവും വളരെ കൃത്യമായിട്ട് നടക്കുന്ന നമ്മുടെ ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാമാണ് അനുശീലനം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് വളരെ വിശദമായി തന്നെ ഇവിടെ നമ്മുടെ വിശാഖ് സാർ നമ്മളോട് പറയുകയും ചെയ്തു. നമുക്കറിയാം, അനുശീലനത്തെക്കുറിച്ച് പറയുമ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ ആ പേര് തന്നെ നമുക്ക് ഏറ്റവും വളരെ വ്യത്യസ്തമായിട്ടൊരു പേരാണ്. അത് നമുക്ക് സജസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത് നമ്മുടെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട കർത്ത സാറാണ്. ഈ ഒരു അവസരത്തിൽ കർത്ത സാറിനെ വളരെ നന്ദിയോടെയും സ്നേഹത്തോടെയും സ്മരിക്കുന്നു. അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ ആത്മാവിന് വേണ്ടി പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കുന്നു. ഒപ്പം നമ്മുടെ ഈ അനുശീലനം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും നമുക്കറിയാം, ഈ ഇവിടെ സൂചിപ്പിച്ചതുപോലെ ഒരു അനുശീലനം ഏറ്റവും ആവശ്യമുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. നമുക്കറിയാം, കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസം നമ്മുടെ രാജഗോപാൽ സാറിന്റെ ഒരു ക്ലാസ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. രാജഗോപാൽ സാറിന്റെ അനുസ്മരണ ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാമിൽ നമ്മൾ എടുത്തു പറഞ്ഞൊരു കാര്യം, സാറ് ആ ഒരു പ്രായത്തിലും, അതായത് ഈ ആയുർവേദ പഠനത്തിന് ശേഷം അദ്ദേഹം മരിക്കുന്നത് വരെ ത്രൂ ഔട്ട് നമ്മളുടെ അഷ്ടാഹൃദയവും കയ്യിൽ വെച്ച് ആ ബുക്ക് ഇങ്ങനെ സ്ഥിരമായിട്ട് പാരായണം ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു വ്യക്തിത്വമായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ നിങ്ങളുടെ മുമ്പിൽ അവതരിപ്പിച്ചിരുന്നു. അത് തന്നെയാണ് അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ പ്രത്യേകത എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ആ ശാസ്ത്രത്തിനെ കുറിച്ചുള്ള അത്രയും അഗാധമായിട്ടുള്ള അറിവ് സാറിനുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ആയിരിക്കണം നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും. നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ ശാസ്ത്രം പഠിക്കുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിലും അത് തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും വീണ്ടും വീണ്ടും അത് അഭ്യസിച്ചാൽ മാത്രമാണ് നമ്മളുടെ ഈ ഒരു പ്രൊഫഷണൽ ലൈഫിൽ നമുക്ക് ഏറ്റവും ഉപകാരപ്രദമാവുകയുള്ളൂ എന്ന് നമുക്കറിയാം. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഒരു വ്യക്തിത്വമാണ് നമുക്ക് വിശിഷ്ടാതിഥിയെ കിട്ടിയിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇന്ന് സ്വാധീനത്തിൽ എത്തിച്ചേർന്നിരിക്കുന്ന നമ്മുടെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട പ്രസാദ് സാർ. എൻ്റെ വളരെ അടുത്ത സുഹൃത്താണ്. എൻ്റെ സുഹൃത്ത് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഞങ്ങൾ ഒരേ കാലത്ത് വൈദ്യനാഥ് ആയുർവേദ കോളേജിൽ പഠിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള ആളാണ്. എൻ്റെ 3 വർഷം സീനിയറാണ്. അതിനേക്കാൾ ഉപരി പ്രസാദിനെ കുറിച്ച് പറയുമ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹം നമ്മുടെ ആയുർവേദത്തിലെ ഒരു അറിയപ്പെടുന്ന ഗുരുവായിട്ട് രാഘവൻ തിരുമുൽപ്പാട് സാറിന്റെ ഏറ്റവും പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഏറ്റവും പ്രസിദ്ധനായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ശിഷ്യനാണ്. നമ്മുടെ ആയുർവേദത്തിന്റെ ഉന്നമനത്തിന് വേണ്ടി ലോകത്തിന്റെ വിവിധ ഭാഗങ്ങളിൽ പോയി ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കുന്ന ഒരു വ്യക്തിത്വം കൂടിയാണ് നമ്മുടെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട പ്രസാദ് സാറ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇന്ന് അദ്ദേഹത്തെയാണ് നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടി ഈ ഒരു അനുശീലനത്തിനായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് കിട്ടിയിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഏറ്റവും സന്തോഷവും അതിനുള്ള നന്ദി ഈ ഒരു അവസരത്തിൽ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് അറിയിക്കുന്നു. നമ്മുടെ ഇന്നത്തെ ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാം നടത്തുന്നത് നമ്മുടെ ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട നിതിൻ സാറിന്റെ നേതൃത്വത്തിലുള്ള ബേസിക് പ്രിൻസിപ്പളിന്റെ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് ആണ്. ആ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് ഇത്രയും വർഷങ്ങളായിട്ട് ഞാൻ ഇതിനു മുമ്പുള്ള എല്ലാവരെയും ഓർക്കുന്ന ഈ ഒരു അവസരത്തിൽ എല്ലാവരും അത് വളരെ ഭംഗിയായിട്ട് ഈ കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷങ്ങളൊക്കെ നടത്താറുണ്ട്. അത് ഏറ്റവും ഭംഗിയായിട്ട് ഈ വർഷം നമ്മൾ നടത്തുന്നു. ഈ ഒരു അനുശീലനത്തിന് പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് നമുക്ക് പറയാനുള്ളത്, നമുക്കറിയാം ഈ അനുശീലനത്തിന്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ട് കുട്ടികളെ അഭ്യസിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ഇതുണ്ട്. അത് കുറച്ച് വളരെ രസകരമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യം തന്നെയാണ്. നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ കോളേജിൽ ഇരിക്കുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് കേൾക്കാം ഇവരിങ്ങനെ അത് ഈ ഒരു അഭ്യാസനം, അതായത് ഈ ശ്ലോകങ്ങൾ ഇങ്ങനെ റിസൈറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ കോളേജിൽ ഇരുന്ന് കേൾക്കുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ അതിൽ വളരെ സന്തോഷമുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. അതിന് നേതൃത്വം കൊടുക്കുന്ന നമ്മുടെ സന്ധ്യ, അവരോടൊപ്പം നിതിൻ, എല്ലാവരെയും നന്ദിയോടെ ഈ ഒരു അവസരത്തിൽ ഓർക്കുന്നു. നിങ്ങളുടെ ഇന്നത്തെ സ്വാധ്യായം ഏറ്റവും ഭംഗിയാകട്ടെ, നിങ്ങളുടെ ജീവിതത്തിൽ അത് ഏറ്റവും ഉപകാരപ്രദമാകട്ടെ എന്ന് ആശംസിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ വാക്കുകൾ നിർത്തുന്നു. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
നന്ദി സർ. നമ്മുടെ സ്ഥാപക സെക്രട്ടറിയും അതിലുപരി എല്ലാ പരിപാടികൾക്കും പിന്തുണയേകി നമ്മുടെ ഒപ്പം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന ശ്രീ മുരളീധരൻ സാറിനെ സ്മരിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഭദ്രദീപം കൊളുത്തി ഉദ്ഘാടനം നിർവഹിക്കാൻ മുഖ്യ അതിഥി വൈദ്യ എം പ്രസാദ് സാറിനെയും മറ്റു വിശിഷ്ട വ്യക്തികളെയും ക്ഷണിച്ചുകൊള്ളുന്നു.
അമൽ
കാവ്യാത്മകമായ ശൈലിയിൽ ആയുർവേദം എന്ന അത്ഭുതത്തെ തുറന്നുകാട്ടുന്ന അഷ്ടാംഗ ഹൃദയം കേരളീയ ചികിത്സാ രീതികളിൽ വഹിക്കുന്ന പങ്ക് വിശിഷ്ടമാണ്. അനന്തമായ ആയുർവേദ വിജ്ഞാനത്തിന്റെ മൂല്യം നഷ്ടപ്പെടാതെ അതിനെ വരും തലമുറയ്ക്ക് പകർന്നു നൽകുവാൻ ഈ അനുശീലനം ഒരു നിമിത്തമാകട്ടെ എന്ന് ആശംസിക്കുന്നു. അഷ്ടാംഗ ഹൃദയം സൂത്രസ്ഥാനം അധ്യായം 1 ആയുഷ്കാമം അനുശീലനം ആരംഭിക്കാം.
प्रायः सार मध्यस्यादै समैरवि शुक्रातवस्तैर्जन्मादौ विषेणेव विषकृमे तैश्च तिस्रप्रकृतयो हीनमध्योतमा पृथक् समधातु समस्तासु श्रेष्ठा विनाविदोषजा तत्र रुक्षो लघुशीतलः सूक्ष्मश्चलोनिला पित्तं सस्नेहतीक्ष्णोष्णं लघुविस्रं सरं द्रवम् स्निग्धशीलो गुरुर्मन्दश्लक्ष्णो मृत्स्नस्थिरकबा संसर्गसन्निपातश्च कल्पितृक्षयकोपदा रसा सिंहांसमेधोऽस्ति मज्जा शुक्राणि दातवा सप्तदूष्यामलामूत्र शतस्वेदादयोऽपि च हृदि समानैः सर्वेषां विपरीतैर्विपर्यया रसा स्वागं ललवणपित्तोषणकषायका षड्द्रव्यमाश्रितास्ते च यथा पूर्वं बलावहा तत्राद्यामारुतं नन्दी त्रयस्तिक्तादयः कफम् कषायतिक्तमधुरा पित्तमन्येतु कुर्वते शमनं कोपनं स्वस्थहितं द्रव्यमिति त्रिधा उष्णशीतो गुणोत्कर्षा तत्र वीर्यं द्विधा स्मृतम् त्रिधा विभागो द्रव्यस्य स्वादं लघुकात्मका गुरुमन्दहिमस्निग्धश्लक्ष्णसान्द्रमृदुस्थिरा गुणा सूक्ष्मविशदा विंशति सविपर्यया कालाप्रकर्मणां योगो हीनमित्यादिमात्रका सम्यक् योगश्च विज्ञेयो रोगारोगैककारणम् रोगस्तु दोषवैषम्यं दोषसाम्यमरोगता विचागन्तु विभागेन तत्र रोगाद्विधा स्मृता तेषां कायमनोभेदादधिष्ठानमभिद्विधा रजस्तमश्च मनसो द्वौ च दोषा उदाहृतौ दर्शनस्पर्शनप्रश्नै परीक्षेत च रोगिणम् रोगं निदानप्राग्रूपलक्षणोपशयाप्तिभिः भूमिदेहप्रभेदेन देशमाहुरिह द्विधा जागरं पादभूयिष्ठम् आरूपं तु कपोर्पणम् साधारणं सममलं त्रिधा भूदेशमादिशेत् क्षणादिर्व्याध्यवस्था च कालोपेशजयोगकृत् शोधनं शमनं चेति समासादौषधं द्विधा शरीरजानां दोषाणां क्रमेण परमौषधम् वस्तिर्विवेको वमनं प्रदातैलं घृतं मधु वीतैरात्मादिविज्ञानं मनोदोषौषधं परम् विषद्रव्याणि वस्तादा योगी पादचतुष्टयम् चिकित्सितस्य निर्दिष्टं प्रत्येकं तच्चतुर्गुणम् दक्षस्तीर्थार्थशास्त्रार्थो दृष्टकर्माशुचिर्विशत् बहुकल्पं बहुगुणं सम्पन्नं योग्यमौषधम् अनुरक्तशुचिर्दक्षो बुद्धिमान् परिचारकः आढ्यो रोगी विषद्वश्यो ज्ञापकः सत्त्ववानपि साध्यो साध्यैर्व्याधिर्द्विधा तौ तु पुनर्द्विधा सुसाध्यहृष्टसाध्यश्च व्याप्यो यश्चानुपक्रमः सर्वौषधक्षमे देहे यूनः पुंसोचितात्मना दोषमार्गो नवसुधा शस्त्रादिसाधनं कृष्ण सङ्गरे च ततो गदा शेषत्वादायुषो याप्य पथ्याभ्यासाद्विपद्यये अनुपक्रम एव स्यात् स्थितोऽत्यन्तविपद्यये औत्सुक्यमोहारधिकृत् दृष्टरिष्टोक्षनाशन यथेदार्थं विषद्भूपैर्विष्टं तेषां द्विषं द्विषम् हीनोपकरणं व्यग्रम् अविधेयं गदायुषम् षण्डं शोकातुलं भीरुं कृतघ्नं वैद्यमानिनम् तन्द्रस्यास्य परं चादो वक्ष्यते ध्यायसङ्ग्रहः
It is with great pride and respect that we welcome a true luminary in the field of Ayurveda, Vaidya M. Prasad. His name resonates with wisdom, dedication, and unrelenting pursuit of excellence in this field. He completed his post-graduation in Shalakitandra from Government Ayurveda College, Trivandrum in 2002. Parallel to the regular classes in Ayurveda College, he learned the core and essence of Ayurveda under the guidance of legendary Acharya Padma Bhushan Vaidyabhushanam K. Raghavan Tirumulpad, which he continued for 21 years and got trained in clinical Ayurveda under Padma Shri Dr. K. Rajagopalan. Vaidya M. Prasad, with 25 years of profound clinical experience and teaching experience, has been seamlessly blending practical wisdom with academic excellence. In 2006, with his wife Vaidya Shaniya Verma, he established Sunitri Ayurveda Ashram and Research Center in Thrissur. He served as the principal and superintendent of Ashtangam Ayurveda Chikitsalayam and Vidyapeetham for 5 years. He is holding the esteemed role of Guru for CRAV program under Rashtriya Ayurveda Vidyapeeth, New Delhi. Let us warmly welcome Vaidya M. Prasad sir to share his deep insights into Ashtanga Hridaya. We are truly honored to have such a visionary leader among us. Welcome, sir.
Namaskaram to one and all, especially the teachers of this esteemed institute. Chaturmukha Samarambham Vagbhadacharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guruparamparam. I am supposed to speak in English, isn't it? Actually, I think I am so much happy for being here with you all on this wonderful occasion of Anushilanam 2025. And my friend Dr. Vishak already explained the core principle behind the term or the word Anushilanam and also the word Swadhyaya. This word Anushilanam comes in many occasions in the textbooks maybe. Please relax, don't be so serious. We will make it a fun. So in one occasion in Ashtanga Sangraham, there I think we have an assorted audience, no? Senior first years and junior first years, first professionals. Am I right? No. Second prof juniors and the first juniors. Okay. So while explaining the very basics of the clinical methods of Ayurveda, very basics of clinical methods of Ayurveda, one of the very famous approach as explained by Hridaya Vagbhada. Hridaya Vagbhada means the Vagbhada who wrote Ashtanga Hridaya. There is another name which I would like to use is Sangraha Vagbhada, the Vagbhada who wrote Ashtanga Sangraha. So in Hridaya Vagbhada we find one very encouraging statement. What is that? Na saskhalati jagchitu. What is that? Na saskhalati jagchitu. Dushyam desham balam kalam analam prakritim vayah sattvam satmyam tathaharam avasthascha prithak vithaha sukshma sukshma samikshesham dosha aushadha nirupane yo vartate chikitsayam na saskharati jadujitu, which is a very motivational or encouraging statement that don't bother about anything, any of the complicated sampraptis that you can meet with in the clinicals, or any sort of names or jargons or whatever the case may be. Don't get upset. Don't get carried away by the name. Yaha dosha ushadha nirupane vartate चिकित्सायाम वर्तते सह जादुचित् न स्खलति. He will not be mistaken. He will not slip away from the path. And he is listing a group of things: dushyam, desham, balam, kalam, analam, prakritim, vayaha, etc., etc. Actually, this statement is an inherited one. It is not his original. You will find this with Sangraha Vakbhada. Maybe I think the traces you can find with Charaka Samhita. So it is an inherited statement. In Ashtanga Sangraha, when you look at this, it is not that encouraging. It is a bit frightening statement. Have you seen that? Seniors? No. In Ashtanga Sangraham Suprasthanam, we will find the same list and plus something else. And he states that if somebody is trying to trace all these things which are very fine in their existence, it will be quite difficult as far as its practice is concerned. Its preaching is somewhat easy, but coming to the practice, it is not that easy. Even a well-trained, intelligent Vaidya may get confused. Vipula buddhim api chikitsakam ahulikuyu. It can cause turbidity in the intelligence of even a well-trained Vaidya. So what about others, the average physicians? So it is a very difficult. So on the other side, if you leave these factors unattended, that is also an excuse, isn't it? Oh, it is very tough, I am not going to attend it. So if you leave them behind unattended, what is going to happen? This is going to put the patient in trouble. The patient will be in trouble. So you have to go through all the finer aspects of Dushyam, Desham, Balam, Kalam. So what is the way out? Tasmad, hence, Abhikshnashaha Shastrartha Karmanushīlanena Samskurveda Prajñā. That is the way out. What is it? Tasmad abhikshnashaha. No break. Continuously, what should you do? Shastra artha karma anushīlanena. That anushīlana is what we find here. Anushīlanam. Shastrartha karma anushīlanena samskurveda prajñām. That is another important term. So what is anushīlanam? Anushīlanam is something which is supposed to be done, followed by any emerging Vaidya or any Vaidya in making in this formative stage. No excuse. No choice. What is to be done? Shastra Artha Karma Anushīlanam. Shastra Artha Karma Anushīlanam. Shastram means Grantham. Shastra means, Shastram has got various meanings. In this context, the meaning is text. Shastra Artha. What is Artha? Artha has got many arthas. Artha is a word having many arthas. Here, meaning, sadbhava. So, Shastra, Artha, Karma. Karma means its application. Text, its true spirit, its application. Shastra, Artha, Karma, Anushīlanena. Anushīlanam is Sheelam. Adayala Sheela. You can't escape. No way. What does it mean? Adayala might Tadakmyamai. You can't separate the Vak and the Artha, isn't it? Vagartha viva sampruktaha. Similarly, certain habits will get sampruktaha, attached so firmly so that you cannot separate. Sheelam. Sheelanam, making it a habit. Making it a habit. Anushīlanam, continuously putting effort to make it a habit. Uninterruptedly putting effort to make it a habit. That is what we call as tapas. What is it? Tapas. Where did you hear that word? In the origin of pitta. Isn't it? The etymological origin of pitta. You listen to tapasandave. Tapasandave. So here we call it is tapas. What is tapas? Tapas swadharma nirvahanathinayittu klesham sahikkalaanu tapas. It is the willingness, not only willingness, the actual act of dedicating oneself to meet the swadharma. That is what we call as tapas. So, Shastra, Artha, Karma, Anushīlanam is supposed to be the tapas for a Vaidya in formation. Vaidya in evolution. Right? So it is not for once in a year. It is not for once in a year, but it is a abhikshnashaha anushīlanam. And what is the advantage? Or what is the purpose of it? What is the intention of it? Samskurvida prajnam. Samskurvida prajnam. So what is the intention? Prajna samskaranam. What is the intention? What is the word? A bit louder. Prajna samskaranam. What is prajna samskaranam? What is prajna samskaranam? Prajna samskaranam means conditioning your way of thinking by accumulating the sufficient background information and training yourself or get trained by somebody else to approach a situation, a problem that is otherwise known as problem-based learning. So for problem-based learning, you need some background information at this point of time or in general in the society. The prajna samskaranam, see, for the medical entrance examination, what was the basic criteria? You should have certain percentage of marks in physics, chemistry and biology. So you were learning physics, chemistry and biology from your play school. We were not knowing that we were learning physics, chemistry and biology, but we were learning physics, chemistry and biology from our play school, from our kindergarten classes, first standard, second standard, 10th standard, 11, 12, and at that point they are going to test whether you have a prajna samskaranam so as to make you fit enough for learning or getting enrolled into the medical school. Got it? So it was a continuous process. It is a continuous process, and that prajna samskaranam is essential for, see, some of your fellow students in the 10th class or 12th class might have gone for maybe agriculture or maybe for forestry, fisheries, isn't it? Engineering or something else. In the engineering itself, many other streams. So all these things are having a common prajna samskaranam fundamentally. But you people went away from it and you joined for Ayurveda, for which the prajna samskaranam, what you achieved till your 12th class, is not sufficient. It is an entirely different set of skills. It is an entirely different set of background information. So what should we do? We should work hard to do some sort of a prajna samskaranam here. Got it? And for that prajna samskaranam, shastra artha karmanushīlanam is the way. Shastra artha karmanushīlanam. So you have the shastra. Somebody should be teaching you the artham. You have to follow it in your life. Then you will be convinced. Then you will be understanding. And then the prajna samskaranam will happen automatically. And you will start seeing things in that light, that perspective. Got it? So that is the importance of the word anushīlanam. And then comes swadhyayam. Swadhyayam is also Shastrartha Karmanushīlanam. Shastrartha Karmanushīlanam is otherwise known as, what is it? Swadhyayam. So what is the purpose of Swadhyayam? Prajna samskaranam. Swadhyayam is the one and only tool for Prajna samskaranam. Prajna samskaranam is the one and only tool for practicing Ayurveda. For practicing modern medicine, you should have a prajna samskaranam according to that stream. For practicing veterinary medicine, you should have a prajna samskaranam according to that. For practicing or teaching history, you should have a prajna samskaranam according to that. For practicing teaching language, your prajna samskaranam should be that way. Got it? So swadhyaya means prajna samskaranam, and its way is shastrartha karmanushīlanam. In the older literatures of various types, we will find swadhyaya pravachanadhyam ma pramavidavyam. From swadhyaya and pravachana, never deviate from. Pravachana is propagating, but to make you fit for propagation, swadhyaya is essential. What is swadhyaya? Shastrartha karmanushīlanam. Got it? This is the background in which we are sitting here. Now coming to Ayush Kamiyam. You have already well aware of what Ayush Kamiyam means, and I was so happy to listen to your chanting of the chapter. And I hope that the first years, juniors also will be so happy, because I think that group chanting has got a strength. Forget about the meaning and everything. Don't take it as serious. This is not rocket science. This is just something about, as we learned, jingle, jingle bell. The same way you just Who is bothered about what this Jingle Bell is? Or Tom and Jerry cartoon? Or any other story which you might have learned? Who is bothered about whether there is really Tom and Jerry? And do you think that a cat and rat will play like this? Forget about it. Don't be so logical in your life. In your life, many things are illogical. We are not living a scientific life all the time, isn't it? How many of your kitchens has got an electronic balance? Anyone keeping an electronic balance in the kitchen? No idea. I think no one has seen a kitchen. All were busy with the entrance. So I think you will have to phone a friend, phone a mom. Do we have an electronic balance in our kitchen or not? See, you ask your mom, how does she put salt in the sambar? Is it by measuring or not? No. Why? What is the reason? Prajna samskara. What is the reason? Prajna samskaranam is the reason. Shastrartha karmanushīlanena, she had achieved that level that even while talking to someone else or shouting at you, she can put the salt properly in the sambar and it will not be more or less. It will be correct. Got it? That is, so the life is not that scientific, life is not that logical. So don't be so serious when you are saying, Brahma Smritva, who is this Brahma? Why are here to discuss about Brahma? What is my fellow students who were there in plus 2 is working in some sort of a anatomy laboratory somewhere else, where this sort of new latest state of the art machine is working, where you press one button called rheumatoid arthritis, immediately the body or that what is it called? What is it called? That new where actual body is not needed. Virtual dissection. Yeah, I think that particular toy and that instrument has a name. Okay. So you press rheumatoid arthritis, then the body will show all the features of rheumatoid arthritis. I am here, Brahma Smritva, who is this Brahma? Who is this Brahma? God knows. Who is this God? Brahma knows. So don't be so serious. We are gaining a different skill set so as to do our Prajna Samskaranam, and we are going to drive fast when the Prajna Samskaranam is done, and it is a continuous process, so we will be getting more and more refined day by day. Right. Now, what should I start with? I think Dr. Vishag and I think all those in the expert panel in the department might have already explained you about why this Brahma, what is the Raga, Virodham and all those things. No? The beauty of Ayush Kamyam is that Ayush Kamyam will be presenting a set of technical terms and definitions. We need some technical terms and definitions for learning everything in any subject. Say in the initial classes of physics, you will be listening to some definition. Velocity. What is velocity? Whatever it is. What is acceleration? Oh my God. What is an electron? What is an orbit? What is commerce? So these are some basic things which you have to understand. Then only you can move forward. Because the rest of the entire syllabus or the subject is going to be spinning around these definitions and technical terms. Isn't it? It's the same way, Ayush Kamyam explains the technical terms and definitions required for learning this textbook. So that is quite essential. You can't skip any of the definitions. Because then in the future, when that definition is used to explain a very complex idea, you will not be able to catch up with it. Got it? So it is a something which is supposed to be taken by heart. Everything, see, that is, forget about the introductory part. That is essential and it is very beautiful because that shows the legacy from which this entire text was scripted. Whether it is relevant to the examination or not is a different question. As I told, it is not about just examination. There are many other things in life, isn't it? So it's not about examination. But from that point where Ashtavangani Kasya Ashtanga Tasya Ashtavangani Ahu. For this textbook, there are 8 parts. This is divided into 8. Yeshu Chikitsa Samskrita. And what is the basis of that classification? Chikitsa. It is on this 8-fold classification that the treatments are explained. So, it is divided accordingly. Then only we enter to the text. Vayu Pittam Kavaste doshas samasataha. Isn't it? Samasataha, this, I think all these things are already covered. Isn't it? You already covered. What about the juniors? Vayu Pittam Kavaste doshas samasataha vikrita avikrita. See, we can spend another 2 hours by explaining these 2 shlokas, but I think it will not be a waste of time, but I think we cannot sit like that. Because you see the way in which it is explained. We are going to enter into a chapter where all technical terms are going to be uncovered, revealed. So the first thing is vikritaha. Then avikritaha. He might have used it as prakritaha, aprakritaha, which will reflect almost the same meaning technically. But he used vikritaha, avikritaha, deham khnanti te vartayam cha. So from that statement onwards, the concept of dosha is getting explained. The nature of dosha is getting explained. അയാൾക്കൊരു ദോഷമുണ്ട് എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ എന്താ അർത്ഥം? എന്താ അർത്ഥം? What is the meaning? ആളൊക്കെ കൊള്ളാം, പക്ഷേ അയാൾക്കൊരു ദോഷമുണ്ട് എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ. So generally, I think the word dosha always mirrors a negative trait. Isn't it? Always. Here also it indicates that negative trait. Vayu Pittam Kapastedi Trayo Doshaha. Here it is not just about that trait, but the order of the trait itself is known as dosha. It is not the quality of that principle, but the principle itself is known by the name dosha. So that indicates its potential to behave in a bad manner. മോൾക്കൊരു ചെറിയ ശീത്ത സ്വഭാവമുണ്ട്. അമ്മയ്ക്ക് അറിയാം പക്ഷെ എങ്ങനെ ടാക്കിൾ ചെയ്യുന്നു. അല്ലേ? So it is a potential. She will not be behaving that way all the time. But it is a potential that she may misbehave. She may misbehave. Upon the moment she is not attended properly, the moment you leave her unattended, she may misbehave. So the parents are so keen. Parents are so keen to avoid the girl from getting exposed to that particular environment. Except that everything is fantastic. Everything is fantastic. So the mission mode work by the parent side is to keep the child away from the risky plane of getting exposed to the potential of bad behavior and keep her always in the other side of the action. So the first warning is about the bad behavior. Wherever they travel, the first point will be to look for whether the child will be exposed to that. Whether the child will be exposed to that misbehaving environment. So in the same way, here we call it as dosha, and there is a warning, vikritaha ghnanti. Vikritaha ghnanti. When that potential to misbehave is left unattended, that is going to kill, ghnanti, to destroy, perish, kill, literally kill. Because that is the point which is to be attended. In all the other domains, she is perfect. You need not bother, you need not attend, just leave her. But there is one point which is, so the same message is conveyed when doshas are introduced. It is not about the positive attributes which is being explained, but about the potential negative aspects. Vikrita vikritaha deham ghnandite vartayantacha. And the name itself is dosha, nothing else. They come under a category called dosha. So from there onwards, the author is very particular about the nature of dosha. Is it clear? It's clear, the message is clear. Yes. So then we move onwards further to understand what all things are to be taken care of. What is that? Tevyavinaha. Isn't it? What is the next line? Tevyavinaha. Then? Kunnabhyorado madhyurtva samshraya. Kunnabhyor. So we have not learned about the Sharira. We have not learned about the complexities or intricacies of the Sharira. So that does not mean but that we are unfamiliar with the Sharira. Why? They are talking about our Sharira. So we know our Sharira, but in a technical perspective, the Sharira is not introduced, not discussed, not dissected. Nothing has been done. So here, the way in which the doshas are placed, just think about it, is in a very superficial manner. You know where Nabhi is, you know where Hridaya is. Don't go beyond that technicality. No, not beyond that very primary knowledge. Don't go to the technicalities of Sharira. Here it is in a very crude manner. He is explaining that. Te vyavinaha. Te trayah doshaha vyavinaha. Spread. They are spread. Still, if you look at, just make 2 points. This is Hridaya, this is not. Then, Athaha, Madhyaha, with 2 dots or with 2 lines, the very crude body is divided into 3 zones. That's all. Don't think too much. Just you draw something like a body, 1 head, 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 lines. Then they are saying that now I have divided this into 3 zones. And these 3 doshas, Athaha, Madhyaha. But don't think that they are confined to that. Devyapana. te vyapana. So even at this point of time, we do not get what this dosha is, and they will never explain what dosha is. So one idea behind the word dosha, as I told earlier, is a negative narrative about the dosha, that they have got the potential to ruin, contaminate, pollute, kill, annihilate, destroy. And that we learn in a different context. Dushana swabhavad. Dushana swabhavam. 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 Swa swandam. Bhavaha, the way in which it is manifested. So the own way of manifestation is known as swabhavam. Dushanam is its swabhavam. Dushanam is swabhavam. They are manifested in such a way that they have inherited the potential to ruin, damage, destroy, contaminate, pollute what body has. So does it mean that they have got this negative potential only? No, they have got positive potentials as well. That is also reflected by the word dosha. That is also reflected by the word. Because these, in Sanskrit, I think etymologically, you can derive the meanings from different sources and contexts. Dosha is a word which can be derived from another. So, dush is one root from which it is derived conventionally. Another context is dos. Dos means Have you ever heard the meaning of dos as hands? No. Shankham Chakram Jalaugam. Have you heard that such a Dhanvantari Stuti? No. No or yes? Be responsive. No. Yes. Shankham Chakram Jalaugam Dadhadam Amruta Kumbham Cha Dorbhis Chadurбhihi. Shankham Chakram Jalaugam Dadhadam Amruta Kumbham Cha Dorbhis Chadurбhihi. Chadurбhihi, Dorbhihi. What does it mean? Yeah, like with the four hands. With the four hands, Dhanvantari is holding four different stuffs. So those means hand. And hands are the karmendriyas for doing actions, for doing work. So that idea can also be reflected, incorporated into the name dosha. And in another context we will find pravartana lakshanaha dosha. What is the definition of dosha? Pravartana lakshanaha doshaha. Doshas are having the lakshana of pravartana. Pravartanam. Pravartanam means to maintain. Prakarshena vartanam. Pravartanam. Vartanam to sustain, to maintain, to continue to exist by acting something. So, pravartana lakshanaha doshaha. They are not just about the dushana swabhava doshaha, but they are also pravartana lakshanaha doshaha. That is why vikritaha ghnandi. Vikritaha vartayanti. Vikritaha ghnandi, avikritaha vartayanti cha. So this Ghnanti is not localized. It can happen all over the body. Doshas are having the potential to destroy the whole body. It is not just about Hrunabhyora Homadhyora. It can contaminate everything. Vartanam, Pravartanam is also for the whole body, not for Hrunabhyora Homadhyora. Why? Te vyapinaha. Te vyapinaha. Electricity is vyapi, but still it has got a sthana, maybe in a transformer, in a powerhouse, or in a generator, or in a battery. So that is the adhisthana, but it is vyapi. For electricity, battery is the adhisthana. But wherever it is to be distributed, wherever it is supposed to work, it will reach there. Vyapi. Got it? So, te vyapino vi hrunabhyora homadhyordhva samshraya. Then, vayoho ratri bhuktanam tendamadhyamika ramadu. Vaya aha ratri bhuktam. Just 4 things. There is no adi shabda. If you had 10 things and you are trying to represent those 10 things with the first 4, we will find adi. Vayoho ratri bhuktadinam. But it is not the Vayoho ratri bhuktanam tendamadhyadika ramadu. Te means day. Te means day in English. Which are they? Vayu pittam kapha. Te anda madhya adikaha. Kramad. Kramad means respectively, following an order in which it is explained. So Vayu comes first, then Pittam, then Kapha. So Vayu is Andam, Pittam is Madhyam, Kapha is Adi. Of what? Of 4 things. Vayas, Ahas, Ratri, Bhuktam. Vayas gives the longevity, the span of life. Ayus. At one point, hita hitam sukham dukkham ayuh. Tasya hita hitam manam cha tatsayatroptam ayurveda sa uchyate. This is a very interesting sloka. What is the interest behind it? One Sanskrit teacher told me, Sanskrit teacher should listen. One Sanskrit teacher told me that one person after his MD, graduating after the post-graduation, was so upset about the language, Sanskrit. It is an uncracked nut. So he decided to learn some extra Sanskrit, and he approached a Sanskrit teacher, and they started online classes. And the Sanskrit teacher was so sad to see the standard of the PG postgraduate in the basic language in which he got postgraduated. I mean, basic, all works are in Sanskrit. So, but I think she made it a point that I am going to teach this guy at least some functional Sanskrit. And one day he was asking, he was not even knowing where to split. See, now, रसासन्मांसमेधोस्ति मज्जशुक्राणि भागव सप्त दूष्याः मलाः मूत्रशकृत्स्वेदादयोऽपि च. So there is one way of cutting it, isn't it? Which gives even for an unlearned person some sense of meaning. So here he was hidahitam sudam dukkhamayustasya hidahitam manam chadacha. Teacher, and the chadacha. So he was quite upset how this chadacha shabdam comes in. Got the point? Chadacha. What is the meaning of chadacha? Crushed. So while explaining the ayus, how this chadacha comes, isn't it? Another case, see, Sidoshna varsha chitan vayuvadim asu nirharedu. Padachedam meant like vayuvadu inasu nirharedu. So that way also things go. So where were we? From where we deviated? Ayuhu, yeah. So Vayaha is Ayuhu. You might have heard that. What is Ayuhu? Sharirendriya Sattvatma Samyoga. Sharirendriya Sattvatma Samyoga. So that is our context. That is what we are going to learn. Our duty is to understand this samyogam properly. How this thing has happened. How this samyoga of sharira, indriya, sattva and atma happened. That we start learning in Sharirasthana. That is why we learn our shariram is not starting from the dissection table and the formality. That is the beauty of it. Where do we start our shariram? Shuddhe Shukratave Sattva Swakarma Klesha Choditaha Garbhasambadyade. Isn't it? It's not about formalin, it's not about a dead body, it's not about dissection table, it is about how the fusion of this Sharirendriya Sattva-atma happened. This is of core importance as far as the Vaidya is concerned. So immediately, first one, Vayaha. And this Vayaha is going to be rolling in two things. What are they? Ahas and Ratri. Nattam dinani meyami. Isn't it? Nattam dinani meyami. So, we have to understand the ayus as a whole, and then we should learn to intervene positively in that life, unit by unit. Unit by unit. So the unit of ayus is dinam and ratri. So while explaining the big idea of dosha, next came ahas and ratri. Now, how does it happen? How do you sustain? How do you live? How do you reach the allocated ayus, the span, the longevity? It is by eating. It is by eating, by nothing else. Simply by eating. You see, the biggest wonder happening in our lives is not about getting an admission to a professional course. It's not getting a mobile phone when you got a pass in the first PAMS. Or nothing else. The biggest wonder is that you have a body which is capable of continuously converting the Panchabhutas of the Loka to the Panchabhutas of your Sharira. That is the biggest wonder in our life. I ate one banana and it became my flesh. Just think about it. Silly thing, we have never attended. So that is the biggest wonder which makes life possible. The moment your body is losing that capacity to convert food into body, you are no more a candidate who worth surviving. So obviously, when we are discussing with Ayush, when we are trying to split it into day and night, we should know how the concept of Tridosha is going to be relevant in the act of eating, in the act of converting a foreign body to our own body. That is why the fourth one is, what is it? Bhuktam. So, te vyapinaha hrannabhyo radho madhyodha samsaya vayo aho ratri bhuktanam tenda madhya adiga kramadu. So, without giving an outright definition to Tridoshas or Vayu, Pittam or Kapha, he is building a story. He is building a story about a hero who is having extraordinary capacity to ensure the survival of the being. The survival of the being. Got it? So that is why what we get in the next sloka. Vayoho ratri bhuktanam tenta madhyadiga. What is the next one? Tair bhaved vishamastikshno mandascha agni samai samaha. Tair bhaved vishamastikshno mandascha agni samai samaha. Taihi agnihi tikshnaha Vishamaha tikshnaha mandaha chakti. Taihi samaihi samaha. So kramad Vishamaha tikshnaha mandaha. Vayu makes the Agni Vishama. Pitta makes the Agni Tikshna. Kabha makes the Agni Manda. Why Agni? We have never ever learned what is Agni. I told that this is about technical terms. When you learn about velocity, velocity will be defined. Here Agni introduced the term Agni, but Agni never introduced. Sorry, defined. That is because many reasons. It is because of many reasons. Because most of the words used here is not completely away from the day-to-day life. When that sort of a situation comes, you definitely need a wider narrative or a broader narrative. But when you say that Agni, it is a very familiar term. Where do we find Agni? Mahanase. Isn't it? Yatra yatra. And which is the example given? In the Mahanasa we have seen it. What does it do? It cooks. How does it cook? When properly tamed. Otherwise, it chars off everything. It burns out everything. So a tamed Agni is one of the strongest or the powerful tool for doing many things, and such an Agni is residing inside where what we told earlier, the Bhuktam Annam is becoming the Sharir. So it is a continuation of the previous sloka. We stopped there with the Bhuktam. So immediately regarding the Vayas, there need not be an extra Jijnasa. Dinaratram, no extra. But Bhuktam, immediately it's parts of a series of Jijnasa. One is, how can we understand this Bhuktam in our context? Then comes the character called Agni. Principle of Agni is not purely a Swatantra Siddhanta. Swatantra means something which is limited to the territory of a particular Shastra. It's not like that. Agni is a Sarvatantra Siddhanta. As far as Indian thought is concerned, Agni is so widespread, so universal. It comes everywhere. In the same meaning even, we will find Agni in different names. We will find Agni in different textbooks. So the Agni, the principle of Agni, is even considered as a Devata. Agni is a Devata even. Why? Because it can transform. Agni can transform things. In our old traditions of our civilization, you will find this Agni is worshipped. Everything is, because you see, preserving the Agni will make the life safe. That was one approach. So, every day you should feed the Agni. And that is how the many traditions of the Vedas of doing this yajna, homa, all those things came. They are all actually preserving the Agni. While doing some sort of a sacrifice, it is told, idam agnaye. This is for agnaye. This is for Agni, not for me. Idam namaha. This is not for me, but this is for Agni. So Agni is a very important principle. Agni is a very important principle which we have to understand even to the deepest level. Agni is not a one-point entity. It is again a system. A system which can bring about change, which can transform. And the biggest transformation what we are referring to is the transformation of the food to the body. So that is why we find how the doshas are influencing Agni. Tayat bhave vishamastikshno mandasjagni samay samaha. Then where does this happen? That is the next jijnasa. Then comes giving the address of Agni and explaining it, how that residence is influenced by the three doshas. Actually, Koshtha is not just about the tube, but it is the area where the Agni is residing. So the next sloka we find, Koshtha kruro mridu madhyo madhyasyataihi samairavi. Koshtha kruro mridu madhyo madhyasyataihi samaihi api. So that is how the entire topic is introduced. So no technical understanding about Sharira as we see in the anatomy of the Sharira Sthana or wherever it is. But on a general platform, certain terms are introduced and it is connected to the crude understanding of Sharira in a very highly generalized manner. Then we find what is the next one? Next slogan. So now again you can have a jnana. What is that jnana? Are these changes what you are explaining about Oshtha, Agni, Vayas, all those things can be evenly generalized? Are they same with every person? No. Why? People are different. People are different from one another. In the Bible tradition, it says that caste made for making one person is spoiled after making it. For a new person, a new caste will be made. So no two persons will be alike. So here also we find Shuklartavasthaihi taihi. Shuklartavasthaihi taihi. When Janmado. So Janmadi happens by the meeting of male and female principles. Shukra represents the male principle, Artava represents the female principle. So according to the sthaha, Shukrartava sthaha, seated. According to the status of these three doshas, as they were seated in the male and female principle at the time of Janma. At the time of Janma. Shuklartavasthaihi Janmano Taihi Tisraha Prakritaya. Tisraha Prakritaya. And one example is given, which can be explained in many ways, but I think even without that example it is very clear. So it is all about Prakriti. Prakriti means the default state of existence. The default state of existence. Why that should be stressed? Because many things can be changed afterwards. I decided to make one idol of a very famous person. Then there was a question, what material should we use to make that idol? Then somebody told me, we will make it out of gold. It will be so nice. Then when looked about the details of getting gold for that, it will cost around crores of rupees. No way. Come down. Silver, no, come down. And at the end, I decided to make it with the plaster of Paris. But I got one very excellent artist sculpture for that, and he made an exact look alike of that person, a beautiful bust. Then I decided to paint it with the golden paint. And I searched a lot and I got the paint which exactly looks like gold. If you make a bust out of gold, it will be exactly like this. So I am so happy that I painted this idol with that paint and put it on a small podium like that. Then everybody was coming, wow, made of gold. Yes. Because it was looking exactly like an idol made out of gold. So why should I deny that credit of making the idol out of gold? So yes. I spent a lot of money for that. But what happened? Accidentally, one of the child came near the idol and just pushed it and fell down. Then what happened? The floor was full of plaster of Paris. Got it? So, the default make was with the plaster of Paris. That is not going to change. I can make it a silver idol, golden idol, copper idol, brass idol with various types of things. I can put a cap over the head or give a spectacle, give a suit. Many things I can make. But that is not at all going to change the very stuff of the idol, which is plaster of Paris. And the way in which this particular idol is going to behave is always according to the nature of plaster of Paris. I make one gold idol and plaster of Paris idol. I put both of them in water, lookalikes. After 2 days, I try to take them out. I take out the gold idol as such. There is nothing to take out from the other side. The entire plaster of Paris dissolved. They were lookalike. They were lookalike. This is Prakriti. This is Prakriti. You can decorate it in some way or other. You can pretend to be otherwise. But when the child comes and push the idol down from the podium, it will show its default nature. When challenged, the person will show his default nature. That is Prakriti. And that Prakriti is the result of the status of three doshas in the male and female principles at the time of fusion. Shuklartavasthaya janmado taihi tisra prakritaya hina madhya uttama pratham vada pitta kapha hina madhya basic. Their combinations vada pitta vada kapha pitta kapha vada pitta kapha. Okay, fine. But basically, three. Then we say that samadhanu samastasu shrestha. What is samadhanu? All the three are high. Is it so? All the three are high means it is not samaprakriti. It is not samaprakriti. That also should be understood. Vayu 10 kilo, Pittam 10 kilo, Kapham 10 kilo. All the three doshas are equal. So he is in Samaprakriti. Is it so? No. Then what is Samaprakriti? You have a no for this question. Then what is the answer? What is Samaprakriti? Samaprakriti is about each dosha doing their work. No, there is one more addition in the sentence. Each dosha does their work optimally. Optimally. That optimum is liberally, frequently named in Ayurveda as samyag. What is it? Samyag, sama. Seniors may be knowing, not maybe, they will know one statement. Yatha balam, you should teach them when the time comes. Yatha balam, yatha dosham. Sorry, yatha balam. What is the statement? Doshaha vruddhaha vitanvate rupani jahadi kshinaha. What is the next small segment? Yatha balam yatha swancha doshaha vruddhaha vitannuvate rupani jahadikshinaha. Next part, seniors, haivam kanganam dasyami. Isn't it easy? Samaha swam karma kurvate. Do you remember that sloka? Yes or no? Yes. That is the most important understanding about dosha samyam. It is not about 10 kilograms of vayu, 10 kilos of pitta, 10 kilos of kapha. Dosha samyam means samaha swam karma kurvate. Samaha swam karma kurvate. So samaprakriti means at the time of Janmadi, all the three doshas in both male and female partners, principles, were swam karma kurvate status. They were in their optimal samyak state. Such condition gives birth to an offspring where vayu, pittam and kapha are in samavastha samaha swam karma kurvate. Samadhadu samastasu sreshtha, which is for all practical reasons is an imaginary person. It is very difficult to such a thing happen. But it is a theoretical possibility. Samadhadu samastasu sreshtha. Nindya dvidoshajaha. Nindyaha dvidoshajaha. Then what about all the three doshas were high? Vada pitta kabha, vada pitta, pitta kabha, vada kabha. Then there is a seventh one which is also mentioned here because it is not even worth mentioning. That verse. Sandhyavada Prakriti. Many a times it is a part of, I think, survival itself is big issue. Survival itself is a big issue. So that verse, as far as the Ayus is concerned. So, sure. So we have a 5 minutes gap. So when I give 5 minutes break, again, the Vada Prakriti will be so happy. Pitta Prakriti will be okay. Kapha Prakriti will not feel anything. They will be sitting as they were sitting earlier. Least turbulent. Isn't it? Okay, so we have a break. Okay, for 5 minutes.
Students are requested to get inside. The session is about to begin.
are suffering, Chandra can sit there. So that either focus will be on what I am saying, otherwise your focus will be on your paining knee joints. And it's already 1.5 hours or more than that. So I think Sukhasanam is the best option to learn something, not a Kadhinasana. Being receptive is more important than being ritualistic. Keep your cups empty. That is the best thing. So we were talking about Prakriti. Then, so Shukrartavasthair Janmadau Visheneva Vishakrimehe Taischa Tisra Prakritayaha Hena Madhyuttamaha Puthak Samadharu Samastasu Shrestha Dindya Vidoshata. Then what do we find? What is the next shloka? Then we discuss about Vayu, Pittam, Kapam. Again, they will not, the author is not disclosing what Vayu means, what Pittam means, what Kapam means. Regarding Vayu, we find one statement. What is that? Tatra Yuksho, Lekhu, Shitaha, Gharaha, Sukshmaha, Chalaha, Anilaha. Isn't it? Those who see in the first 5 rows can just tilt their chairs so that your neck will be free. Otherwise, you will be sitting straight and turning their head like this. So just tilt them. Yeah, that is nice. That makes sense. You are comfortable there, no? Yeah. Others also can follow those. Okay, so Tatra Luksho Lekhu Sita Ghara Sukshmas Chalo Nilaha Anilaha Tatra. So Vayu Pittam Kapastedi Trayo Doshaha Samasataha Tatra. Of these 3, Vayu Rukshaha, Lekhu, Shitaha, Karaha, Sukshmaha, Chalaha. So what are we talking about? We are talking about Vayu in terms of certain terms. We do not know what it is. Tatra Rukshaha. Ayale Rukshamai Noki. What does it mean? Rukshamai Noki. രൂക്ഷമായിട്ട് നോക്കുന്നതാണ് വളരെ ഭയപ്പെടുത്തുന്ന രീതിയിലോ ചോദ്യം ചെയ്യുന്ന രീതിയിലോ ഒക്കെ നോക്കി എന്നുള്ളതിന് നമ്മൾ വളരെ സാധാരണ പറയുന്നൊരു വാക്കാണ് രൂക്ഷമായിട്ട് നോക്കി. രൂക്ഷമായിട്ട് നോക്കിയാൽ അതിൽ എന്തുണ്ടാവില്ല? തൈര് പോലും സ്നേഹം ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. അയാളെ സ്നേഹത്തോടെ നോക്കി എന്ന് പറയുന്നതിന്റെ നേരെ വിപരീതമാണ് എന്ത്? അയാളെ രൂക്ഷമായിട്ട് നോക്കി. അപ്പൊ രൂക്ഷമായിട്ട് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ എന്തുണ്ടാവില്ല? There will be no സ്നേഹ. അല്ലെ? രൂക്ഷമായ നോട്ടത്തിൽ സ്നേഹമില്ല. സ്നേഹത്തോടെയുള്ള നോട്ടത്തിൽ രൂക്ഷതയും ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. ഫിസിക്സ് ആണ്. എന്ത് ഫിസിക്സ്? ഈ വാട്ട് ഈസ് ഫിസിക്സ്? ഫിസിക്സ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ വേറെ സംഗതിയൊന്നുമില്ല. അതായത് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ദ സ്റ്റഡി ഓഫ് ദ ഫിസിക്കൽ വേൾഡ് ആൻഡ് ദ ഫോഴ്സസ് എക്സിസ്റ്റിംഗ് ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ദം. അല്ലേ? അത്രയേ ഉള്ളൂ. പ്രാക്ടിക്കലി ഫോർ ഓൾ പ്രാക്ടിക്കൽ പർപ്പസസ് physics means the study of the physical world and the various forces in action between them. Right? So that was one point of curiosity all throughout the human history. It is not something new. It was there. While you are lifting a leaf, it is very light, whereas while you are lifting a stone, it is a bit heavy. Even among the leaves, a fresh leaf and a dry leaf. Fresh leaf is heavier than the dry leaves. Even among the stones, a larger stone is heavier than a smaller stone. Isn't it? And we can observe many characteristics when something is thrown up, it falls down. Even if you do not throw something which is already there on a height, if it is released, it comes down, it falls down. These are normal observations. We are forced to learn that who discovered gravity, who invented, discovered, or whatever it is. Who did it? Huh? Even that is, there is no confident voice. I said. So we are all conditioned in such a way that it is Isaac Newton who explained this force of gravity. But when you go through the Vaisheshika Darshanam, which is far behind the time of Newton, you find that Agni Padana Asavavayu Karanam Gurutvam. What is that? Agni Padana Asavavayu Karanam. When something is kept on a height and you release it, the Asamavai Karanam which initiates, that is Agni Padana, which initiates that falling process is called Guru. So Guru is about that property inherent to an object which acts as the Asamavai Karanam for its fall when it is kept at a height. And you feel it as its mass. Okay, fine. So when you try to lift something and it is very heavy, you feel that I will Guru. This is very heavy Guru. And you have listed out a series of properties that way. When you say about Guru, obviously the other option is there, which is Likhu. When you find that this is Ushnam, the other option is Sitam. When you find this is Snigdham, other option is this is Ruksham. So the physical duals, we talk about the physical duals and we enlist, we populate a big group of which 10 into 2, that is 20, are the most commonly used ones, and they are called Gurvadigunas, Vimsadigunas, of which Vakbhada started it with Guru, so it is known as Gurvadiguna. So it is physics only, taken as such from Vaisheshika Darsana or Tarkam. Tarkam is maybe a later usage, whereas Vaisheshika Darsana is very old, very ancient. So it is taken as such. The way in which the physical world and the forces acting upon objects, that is explained in Vaisheshika Darsana. And arranging these gunas, when there is a guna, the problem is that gunas cannot reside as such independently. Guna, when you say that guna, what is the word meaning of guna? Give me the meaning. What do you mean by guna? Attributes, qualities, properties, anything else? Guna, actually the word meaning of guna is secondary. Guna also has got many meanings. Guna means the, see for example, you take a mala, the thread running inside within the beads is known as guna. Guna means less important, unimportant, secondary. That is also the meaning of guna. So, gunam is secondary. Why? It has no independent existence. It has no independent existence. So, which is primary? Which provides the adhishthanam for the guna is known as the primary. So, which is primary? Dravya is primary. Even in the concept of trigunas, the meaning of triguna, that guna is unimportant, less important. It's not like property or attribute. So, in the physical world, we find many objects. Some are very gross, stula. Some of them are very subtle, sukshma, sukshmataram, sukshmatamam. Sukshmatamam to the extent that we do not even perceive their presence, and accordingly we organize them from the subtlest of the subtlest to the grossest of the grossest. We arrange them, and we tried to understand the material configuration of these things. And then the idea of Panchabhutas came to explain the grossest of the grossest and subtlest of the subtlest. The idea of Panchabhutas can be considered as a Siddhanta which is trying to explain this structural configuration. So anything in the physical world, from a human perspective, that is very important, from a human perspective, has only 5 basic ingredients. Upadana karana. Only 5 basic things, materials used, which we call as karana dravyas. Karana dravyas. 5 bhutas are the karana dravyas. From the very subtle akasha to the very gross prithvi. So everything naturally, from a human perspective, has these 5 ingredients. Everything. No exception. So what happened? They became the owners of these gunas. Gunas are owned by these 5. It is all based on their physical appreciation. Based on their physical appreciation. At one point, we can find Charaka trying to bring them into some sort of a one-word points. What is that? Gharadrava Charoshnatum Bhujalanila Tejasam Agashasya Pradikavo Vishtam Lingam Yathakramam. Gharadrava Charoshnatum Gharadrava Chala Ushnatvam Bhujalanila Tejasam Akashasya Pradikha. So Akasham is supposed to be the subtlest imaginable, so that it is not creating any pradikhanam. Pradikhanam means some sort of a obstruction, friction, resistance. Even the subtlest level of resistance is not there. when we assume an entity called Akasha. So it is just one word. Ghara, Drava, Chala, Ushnatvam, Bhu, Jala, Anila, Tejasa. Akasasya Apradikaraha. But it can be spread because this is about Karana Dravya, whereas we are all dealing with Karya Dravyas. Karana Dravyas are behind the screen. On the stage it is all Karya Dravyas. What all are made using these Karana Dravyas as raw materials. So it is all permutation and combination. I give you 10 matchsticks and ask you to make different forms. Somebody is making a big square, somebody is making a star, somebody is making a fish, somebody is making a many things. With these 10 matchsticks, you may be making n number of shapes. In the same way, using these 5 basic ingredients, n number of Karya Dravyas are made. But fundamentally, all are matchsticks. Fundamentally, all are matchsticks. Fundamentally, all Karya Dravyas have the 5 Karana Dravyas as their ingredient. That is what we find in a certain other context. Panchabhutatmakam tattukshma adhishthaya jayate ambuyoni Agni pavana abhasam samavayata tannirbhrityu visheshascha. Where is it? Dravyaditani. You remember? Dravyaditani. So it is a show of only 5 characters. But so this glass is Pandavodium, book is Pandavodium, teapot, mic, everything is Pandavodium. My body is Pandavodium, your body is Pandavodium, dead body is Pandavodium, dog is Pandavodium, rabbit is Pandavodium, bread is Pandavodium, everything is Pandavodium. Then stop 1 second. You told that your body is Pandavodium, dead body is Pandavodium. What is the difference between them? What is the difference between them? The presence of a 6th principle. Presence of a 6th principle is the difference. Fridge in my kitchen is of a particular brand, of a particular caliber. Same company, same caliber fridge in the service station is also the same. But my refrigerator in the kitchen refrigerates objects, whereas the other one in the service station is not doing it. That is why it is in that service station. So what is the difference? Same company, same capacity, same brand, no difference. What is the difference? Current is passing through one, that is not happening in the other. And that makes this refrigerator working, whereas the other one is not working. So the presence of a 6th principle makes the entire show different. So who is the most important principle? So some people attribute that position to that 6th principle. That is why in Charaka Samhita you will find Chedana Dhadurapyekaha Purusha Satnita. If you say Purusha, that is none other than that 6th principle, not this Panchabhuta. But for all practical purposes, Panchabhuta plus 1 Shadhaduka Purusha, 6 ingredient body is considered as the point of reference. So Your body is Panchabhautika, dead body is Panchabhautika, dog's body is Panchabhautika, desk is Panchabhautika, mango tree is Panchabhautika, paddy field, paddy is Panchabhautika. From the dead body, the difference that your body is having is the presence of Chedana Dhatu. Sharirendriya Sattvatma Samyogaha. When that Atma is the Chedana Dhatu, the Samyoga with the Sharira is inanimate, Indriya is inanimate, Manas is inanimate, Achedana. Like the refrigerator in the service station. It has no cooling effect. The moment the Chedana Dhatu gets into, it starts cooling things. So, Sharirendriya Sattva Atma Samyogaha. So, you take it out, Achetana, Jada, inanimate, Panchabhautika. Okay, true. The human body is also Panchabhautika. And that Panchabhautika is the basic ingredient of all material cause of physics. The basic points of reference as far as the Indian physics is concerned. So when we are talking about Gurutvam or Guru Gunam, you are talking about the Guru Gunam of these Panchabhutas. Who is having Guru Guna? Who is not having Guru Guna? That is assigned as it is having Lekhu Guna. Which is having Ushna Guna? Which is having? It is like a straight line. You are placing them. This is the straight line scale indicating the Ushna. So on the top, this is the Ushna. This is on the other end of the straight line. And we call it as, this is Shita. So where is the line of demarcation between these two? That is a big problem. That is why I told that leaf is Lekhu, stone is Guru. But you take a cluster of leaves, this leaf is Guru, this leaf is Lekhu. So within the leaves, you find Guru and Lekhu. Among the leaf and stone, you find what earlier told as Guru is now becoming Lekhu. So it is always a relative positioning in the spectrum. This Guru and Lekhu is a relative positioning of the material in the spectrum. It is not absolute. But such a thing cannot work. When we take this physics to the biology, I think we need a point of reference. It cannot be this much loose. Then we place human body as the point of reference. Human body as the point of reference. Then we will have to go back to the basics. What is that? Which I told as the biggest wonder imaginable. What is that biggest wonder imaginable? Transforming the bhutas of the external world to the bhutas of our Sharira. It was a glass of rice, now it is my flesh. It was a banana, now it is my blood. It was the flesh of a chicken, now it is my flesh. It is not something which is tied over my body. It became my body. With the same 5 basic ingredients, it became my body. Who played? Agni played. Where? In the Koshta. So physics is getting translated to biology. With the body is kept as the point of reference. So now things are a little bit different. When we say that this is Guru in the physics, it meant it will fall down very quickly if you release it from a height, and it will be heavy to lift. Whereas when we take it into biology of Ayurveda, it means if you consume this material as your food, this will add mass to your body. So, from Adya Padana Asamavai Karanam Yasya Dravyasya Brahmane Shaktihi Sahavu. If consumed, how the body is going to respond to that action? It is by adding mass. Then what is Lekhu? When consumed, which is taking away the mass from the body, which is reducing the mass of the body, is called Lekhu. Then in the Shida Ushnam, the transition point is human body. Something which increases the temperature level of the body is known as Ushna. Something which reduces the temperature levels. How do you understand? Something which is Ushna will induce sweating, whereas something which Shida will suppress sweating. So it is, we are taking the idea of physics of Panchabhuta to the physics of a living body, where there is a sixth principle in action, in whose presence Panchabhutas are transformed to Sharira. Then we call it as biology. How the body, living body, is going to respond to the stimulus from everything other than the body. Human body, living body is going to respond to anything, all others, everything other than it is known as the biology here. Then Guru becomes Yasya Dravyasya Brahmane Shakti. So going back to Vayu, Tatra Ruksho Lekhushhidaha Gharaha Sukshmaschalo Nilaha. It has got physics in it. When we, again I think, where do you place this doshas? We are talking about Bhutas. We are talking about Bhutas only. So where is the place for a dosha? Is it something different from Bhuta? There are questions, which of course is to be resolved in time, with time. But now we take it for granted, as we took it for granted that Tom and Jerry are playing all the time, not being judgmental. At least to start with, we take it for granted that Vayu Pittam Kamam is there, Te Vyapinaha. But later we will think about it, we will discuss it, we will become very seriously judgmental. But up to that we have to wait. We should understand what these people are saying. Then we say that Tatra Ruksho Lekhushhidaha Gharaha Sukshmaschalo Nilaha. So Vayu is Ruksha. So suppose Vayu is a dish, a recipe, like shawarma or pizza, whatever it is. So when Vayu means, Vayu is Ruksha means, if you eat Vayu, what will happen? It will increase the Ruksha property in your Sharira. It will reduce the Sneha property in your Sharira. Lekhu, that recipe is lekhu. So if you eat vayu, the dosha vayu, what will happen? It will reduce the bulk of your body. It will reduce the bulk of your body. Shitaha. If you eat vayu, your sweating will be suppressed. Gharaha. If you eat vayu, that will increase the kharada of your body. So that way, this dish is introduced. You went to the hotel, restaurant, somebody brought the menu, and you find a very strange name. Then you call the waiter and ask, what is this? Then what will he do? He will start explaining. This is made out of wheat, it is fried, it is grilled. Then is it very spicy? No, it's more medium spicy. Then what is the other dishes that we take with it? So I think there will be a conversation at the end of which we get some pretty good idea about what that new dish is. In the same way, Vagbhada is explaining what this new dish is. What is vayu? Somebody is asking, then the waiter is coming and explaining. This is a new dish called vayu. It is ruksha, it is lekhu, it is shita, it is sukshma, it is chala. All these things. Okay. Then what is vayu? For that you should order and you should bring it and you should see it and you should start eating it. Then only you will understand. After that it ends with the description. So vayu is described that way. Then we find in the description of another recipe called pitta. Pittam sasneha tikshnoshtam lekhu visram sarangram. Same story. Kabham snigdha shido gurur mandaha svakshno mritsnaha sthira kabha. So only 3 recipes in that outlet. All the 3 are explained and they run the show. Now you spread them across and you will find many properties which are famous explained or included. Many are left. Many are included with minor importance. Like that. But overall, they will give you an idea about how the body generates responses when these principles are in action. These listed properties will give you a fairly good idea about how the body is going to respond when these principles are in action. Understood? That is how we find the explanation of vayu, pittam and kapha. Then what is next? Next sloka we find Kshayapopataha samsarga sannibadascha tad dvi-tri kshayapopataha dvi-tri kshaya dvi-tri koha. Tad means tesham. Dvi-tri kshayataha dvi-tri kopataha samsargaha sannipataha cha. So here again, just for the sake of technical explanations, 2 terms are introduced. One is samsarga, one is sannipataha. Samsarga means a distortion, a state of vikriti. Initially we saw vikrita, avikritaha. So the first point was vikriti. this Vikriti can happen in isolation or in combination. In isolation, Vayu alone, Pitta alone, Kapha alone. In combination of 2s and combination of 3. And suppose there is a scale which is kept vertically, and you are asked to see the point 30 on it. 1 meter scale kept vertically, and somebody asks you to mark the point 30. How many points can you mark? If you are asked to mark the point 30, how many points can you mark? 5? 6? Or 1? Only 1? Because on a 30-meter scale there will be only 130 centimeter mark, 1 meter scale. But somebody is asking you to mark a point above 30. Because 30 is taken as the point of reference. Now you just mark a point above 30, which lies above the 30 level. How many points can you mark? Infinite. Isn't it? Somebody mark any point below the level of 30. How many points? Infinite. Isn't it? But mark on the point 30. How many points? Only 1. In the same way, when we are saying that dosha samyam, it is possible in only one portion. All the 3 doshas are working over. It is like marking the point 30. But asama doshas, vikrita doshas, how many types? Innumerable types. So it is impossible to even visualize how many types of departure from the normalcy is possible. Very difficult. Infinite numbers. So to make an impossible infinite number of possibilities handy, to make them manageable, the technique used is to generalize. To generalize. So what happens? We fix one point. This is dosha samya. Now I am going to generalize. What is that generalize? Vriddhi from this is one possibility. That vriddhi can be on 31, 32, 33, 33.001, 33.002. These are all vriddhi. But it is coming under one common umbrella called vriddha dosha. And the second is kshaya. Second possibility is kshaya. How many numbers of departing from normalcy below is accommodated by kshaya? Any number. Any number. They are all coming under the common umbrella called kshaya. So 29.0009, 29, 28, 0, -1, these are all coming under kshaya. So samam, vriddhi, kshaya. Samam is the optimum, the most desired state. Vriddhi and kshayam are vikritaha. Vikritaha ghnanti. Vikritaha ghnanti. Danger. red sign. Our aim is to understand how to identify the samavastha and maintain it. How to identify the asamavastha and correct it. So we are trying to study them, and that is how these two technical terms are becoming relevant: samsarga and sannipada. Three shaya kopataha. So shaya kopa. Shaya means downgrading. Kopa means beyond the limit, increase. Now, being a set of three, in isolation means 1, 1, 1. In combination means in the combination of 2s and in combination of 3s. So, combination of 2 in Vruddhavastha. Combination of 2 in Kshayavastha. Combination of 3 in Vruddhavastha. Combination of 3 in Kshayavastha. So, Vruddhi and Kshayam in 2s and 3s. In 2s, it is known as Samsargam. In 3s, it is known as Sannipada. That is what we find here. So, ideas of Vruddhi, Kshayam, Samsargam, Sannipada. Here the word used is Kopam, which is reflective of Vruddhi. Of course, again, there are space for further discussion, but at this level, this is enough. Kopam reflects Vruddhi and Kshayam. So, a departure from the normalcy can have two options, Vruddhi and Kshayam. And both the Vruddhi and Kshayam can have three options: in isolation, in 2s, in 3s. In isolation, there is no specific name. In 2s, it is known as Samsarga. In 3s, it is known as Sanna. So, wherever you go in this text, wherever you find a word Samsarga, you should immediately, there should be a flickering happening. Some distortion in 2 doshas has happened. Whether it is Vruddhi or Kshayam, that will be decided later, according to that situation. So, here we find Samsarga, Sannipadascha, Tadvitri Kshaya Kopataha. Is it clear? So, I think it is only up to this that we can discuss. But I think it doesn't matter. This is just an opening, or which you have already opening. I think I came in between and just explained some other perspectives or points. Now I think another 5 minutes time. It is open. It's your time. You can ask me to clarify any of the points which I explained so far, or you can put up any of the jnasa that you had while listening to this, or anything relevant to this topic.
Students may ask your doubts.
You can sit and ask. We'll have a test. Regarding Shadrasa. But I think we can't be sure at this point of time. Rasa is far away. Maybe in some of the other sessions somebody will be explaining it. Anything else? It need not be a doubt. Even a comment is welcome. Otherwise, I would like to get 2 minutes, 2 more minutes. One as a conclusion. You see, in the beginning of Ashtanga Hridayam, we find that beautiful sloka. What is that? Raga Yoga Sadarpan Shaktan Sheshakaya Prasadan Sheshan Ausakya Moha Hararidan Jathana Yoga Vaidyaya Namo. So it is a salutation. It is a salutation to a Apurva Vaidya who succeeded in winning over the very special category of roga, which are named as Ragadi Roga, and they are all encompassing, inherent, deep rooted. We know the complexity of these rogas, and when it is ragam, the chikitsa is vairagyam. If it is ragam is the rogam, chikitsa should be vairagyam. That is what the seers of ancient times discovered. Vairagyam, in its most conventional sense, shows, or in extreme sense, shows anasakti, detachment, anasakti. But for all practical purposes, we can make it as not vigada raga, vairagyam vigadaha ragaha yasya saviraga tasya bhava vairagyam. You can make it visishtaha ragaha. Attachment to the world, attachment to the objects, attachment to everything in a very vishishta way, in a special or a graduated level of raga, wherein some sort of a dedication, samarpanam is happening. So as students of Vaidya, I think you can win over your ragadi rogas by developing a sense of vairagya, visishta ragada towards Vaidya. Focus your ragam entirely to Vaidya. Then you can win over your ragadi roga. And Vagbhara is reinforcing this point again and again by compelling us to chant this sloga every day. So we also make our mind to become an Apurva Vaidya by winning over the Raga Yogas. So every day, the learning starts with the Apurva Vaidya and Namostu Tasmai. And Vagbhara was such a person who literally succeeded to reach that level. That is also the beauty of Ashtanga Hridayam. In Charaka Samhita, you don't find any salutations like this. In Sushruta Samhita, you don't find any salutations like this. Why? It doesn't mean that they were so ragis, or they were nobody to guide them, and they were not worshippers of any particular divine points, or they were not dedicated souls. Nothing like that. It is all about the uncertain authorship of those books. Whereas that sort of an uncertainty does not exist as far as Hridaya Sangraha is concerned. It is written by Vagbhara. Whereas who wrote Sushruta Samhita is an obscure area. Who wrote Charaka Samhita is an obscure area. So many schools, many persons, many places, many seasons, many times, they might have been rewritten by different schools of thought. So whom to salute? So we don't find. Whereas Ashtanga Hridayam, you find this most beautiful, and you look at the last sloka of Ashtanga Hridayam. Do you have Ashtanga Hridayam last sloka? This may be having. That is Sutrasthana only, no? This one may be having. This entire sthana, no? No. last sloka of Ashtanga Hridaya. Don't see in between, just go to the last page. Not Sutrasthana or Ayushkam here. Then the very last sloka of Ashtanga Hridaya is Hridayamiva Hridayamegad Sarva Ayurveda Vangmaya Payodhehe Kritva Yat Shubhamartam Shubhamastu Param Tado Jagataha. Isn't it? So that is the last shloka. What is the meaning? Hridayamiva Hridayamegad Sarva Ayurveda Vangmaya Payodhehe Sarva Ayurveda Vangmaya Payodhehe. Payodhi is ocean. Vangmaya Payodhi means the ocean of literature. Ayurveda Vangmaya Payodhi means the ocean of Ayurvedic literature. So the Ayurvedic literature is there like an ocean. You can't see the end. So Vakshada wrote one text called Ashtanga Hridaya, and his intention was to make this ocean of literature a chartered one, so that good sailors can travel through it and reach the other side. So he made this entire uncharted oceans well defined, well chartered ones, to make it more accessible. So practically what happened, the book he authored became so handy but all encompassing. So small but highly illustrated. So such a thing is known as the Hridaya of the ocean of Ayurvedic literature, and he named it as Ashtanga Hridaya. So he did a wonderful job, no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Maybe. Yes or no? Yes. So obviously I think it is a punya karma, so he will be blessed with a lot of punya out of it. But what is his attitude? It was an unintended punya. He never had an intention to gain that punya. So what is he doing? Hridayamiva Hridayamegad Sarva Ayurveda Vangmaya Payodhehe Kritva. By authoring such a text which can be considered as the Hridaya of the ocean of literature of Ayurveda, Yad Shubhamaptam, whatever Shubham Punyam I attained or achieved, Shubhamastu Param Tado Jagataha. With that Punyam, let there be more Punyam. I am transmitting it, I am transferring that Punyam for the well-being of the Jagat. So that shows how anasakta, how viragi he was, even though he was making such a wonderful work. So that is also one beautiful lesson for the learners of this beautiful book and system. So that is why, see, don't try to measure this with your logic and science. This is much, much above the so-called scientific logic or rationale and all those things. Got it? So, when you accommodate these two slokas by Swadhyaya, Shastra Karma, Shastra Artha Karma Anushīlanena, then I think you also will become an Apurva Vaidya. It's a beautiful offer, no? You also can become an Apurva Vaidya. Just two things. Keep these two things, these slokas together. Nothing else. Everything in between will be yours. Connect these two. From Ragadirodhan, Shubhamastu Param Tato Jagata. Got it? Then I think our Anushīlanam will be meaningful, taking you to the next level of existence any Vaidya after the completion of his learning is designated as Dvija. Dvija. Dvija in the worldly sense is a synonym of Brahmana. But the word meaning of Dvija is somebody who has reborn, a second birth. Jesus is a Dvija, isn't it? Rebirth. Brahmana by custom is called a Dvija because after the Veda Padhana, he is transformed to a next level of wisdom and understanding. The same way, somebody who completes this learning of Vaidyam is also called a Dvija because he will be a transformed soul. For that, keep just 2 slokas together, making sure that nothing in between is lost. So it's a very simple thing, just to keep 2 slokas together. Right? Thank you so much.
We are deeply indebted to you for sharing your wisdom, knowledge, and we look forward to implementing the valuable lessons we learned today. Thank you so much, sir.
PNNM കുടുംബത്തിന്റെ ക്ഷണം സ്വീകരിച്ച് ഇവിടെ എത്തിച്ചേരുകയും അഷ്ടാംഗഹൃദയത്തിന്റെ മൂല്യങ്ങളിലൂടെ നമ്മുടെ പ്രജ്ഞയെ സംസ്കരിക്കുകയും ചെയ്ത വൈദ്യ എം പ്രസാദ് സാറിന് സ്നേഹോപഹാരം നൽകി ആദരിക്കുന്നതിനായി കോളേജ് ഡയറക്ടർ ശ്രീമതി സന്ധ്യ മണ്ഡലത്തിനെ ക്ഷണിച്ചുകൊള്ളുന്നു.